Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Basketball, TITTH number 103. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. Tonight joining me, we got Steven Hammond. Everybody, say what's up to Steve. What's going on, brother? How we doing?
What's going on? How are you, Justin?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot. Doing good. Just, trying to drive out the snow here. Just trying to outlast it. How about you?
Yeah, trying to stay warm and still trying to get my car unstuck. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, man. That bad? Was it the plows or what?
Oh, yeah. And then with all the wind, it was a huge tree around my car. So it's been in tires for the past week.
Oh, that's awful, man. Sorry to hear about that. I remember in college that happened to me down at Eastern, fellow alum here. We had like the first snow day, I think in 20 years or something like that. And I had to walk to, what's that grocery store over there? Like right off of Lincoln. Whatever that grocery store is, that big one right by Starbucks.
Country Market.
I had to walk there from the liquor store that I actually met you at Eastern. I mean, that's not where we met, but I was like, hey, you go to school here? I walked from pretty much that road to that grocery store to buy a damn shovel to dig my car out so that I could drive a town over to Mattoon to go to work. On that drive over, I got in a car wreck.
Oh, man, double whammy for you.
Snow. It's my favorite. Snow's been wild. Steve's in the Midwest. I'm on the East Coast, if you guys haven't already caught that in the past couple of weeks here. But I was actually in Illinois this past weekend where Steve lives, and the storm there followed me all the way here. So the past 2 days or whatever, Monday and Tuesday, had to stay home from work because it was just that bad. It was just wild. So, but we're making it. We're living. We're striving through it. We're making some money. We're taking it to the Hizzy. Smash the like button if you guys already haven't. We're going to jump into some of our previews here. We got fantasy basketball up tonight. Steve, what type of props are you running tonight?
So I got two up actually in the same game. I'm riding with the over 22.5. I think they're both actually 22.5. Over 22.5 for Christian Wood's points. And like over 22.5 for Oladipo. We got no Wall tonight, so I think we see the offense move a lot more through Victor tonight.
Yep, I like it. There's going to be a lot of points available, especially for Wood and Oladipo with Wall out. SGA also going to be out for OKC, so maybe a little bit leverage there defensively as well. So, yeah, I like that as well. I'll throw up my triple play up on the monitor here. For points, I got over 13.5 for Jeremy Lamb. I got the Bucks and Pacers game up here. I also have Sabonis in that game, under 12.5 rebounds. And then who is my assist? Yeah, Devin Booker, under 4.5. All of those numbers are trending in their last 5 to 7 games. I think Sabonis has only had over 12 rebounds twice out of his last 8. Lamb, pretty consistent scorer. So I think they're going to be needing him tonight in this matchup. I got the Pacers covering, so I need them to really get to it. And then a monkey knife fight, I've got the under for points for Bradley Beal and Giannis. Guys, go ahead and grab some value there. You were mentioning earlier, Steve, that you're not having the greatest relationship with FanDuel right now, so I don't really want to ask about your DFS. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I've been suspended for the past week and a half. I don't know.
What are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know exactly why. I'm not cheating the system or anything.
Are you?
I've been, I guess I've been
with
clearing
all our picks that we're giving out, maybe.
Exactly. No, but hopefully I'm trying to get this fixed before the Super Bowl. Biggest game of the year. So if FanDuel hears this,
would want to get that fixed for you so that they can take some of your money too. Who's your early pick for the Super Bowl, or favorite prop, or if you want to give away your Super Bowl pick, whatever?
So I'm going. I think I'm betting with my heart a little bit. I want the Bucks to win. I think Chiefs. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs win. It doesn't matter what they're down; they'll be there.
Right. Well, yeah. I just always tell people watch last year's Super Bowl. Watch last year's Super Bowl. It's going to be tough. I'm taking the Chiefs as well. I don't have any of my props ready to go yet. Tune in tomorrow night if you want to catch my props for the Super Bowl. So, other than that, how's your fantasy team doing? Like, we're in the midst here. We're well on our way into the middle of fantasy season. How's the B-ball going?
We're doing good. I'm just hanging on to the playoffs right now, looking at the 6th seed. Big win last week against Blake. It was good to pull that one out.
Suck it, Blake. Blake's always giving a shit for how terrible or how much better he's doing than us. Blake, we're missing you tonight, buddy. We heard corporate was in town there at work, so hopefully they're not giving you too hard a time. Looking forward to having you back next week. But yeah, when you told me that, I was very surprised. I was like, shit. Blake's always giving me a hard time for how bad my team's doing and how good his team is doing. Like, man, you got no postponements, you got no injuries. Leave us alone.
Exactly. He's had the perfect storm.
Yeah, right. Like he's working tonight, but in fantasy, he's sitting on a beach with a daiquiri. In fantasy, you and I are like sitting there, like scratching our heads, like
grinding it out.
We haven't showered in a day. We're eating our nails. Like it's wild. Yeah, it's getting a little bumpy right now for me. I took a couple of losses last week, and I wasn't very happy about it. But I got a plus matchup in one league up against the wife this week. Some days she pays attention, some days she doesn't. So I'm hoping that she doesn't get mad at me this week and kicks my ass. And the other one, I'm just scrapping, just scrapping the ads. I was telling Steve earlier before we got on air, I was like, man, I just felt like everyone that I added was like touching gold. Like every time I would pick somebody, like, oop, there's 24 points, oop, there's 30 points, there's a triple double. Like it's the heater's off. It's as cold as the weather outside right now with the ads and the streaming players.
I couldn't believe it. For the past few weeks, I was looking, and every person you were picking it up, they'd somehow drop 24 points, highest scoring game of their career, highest scoring game of the year, and it was one after another. You're quick.
Not anymore.
It's an hour difference you got being on the East Coast.
Yeah, sometimes getting off of work at 5 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock your time. Getting up with the sunshine. I'm getting up at 7. That's just 6 o'clock your time. So, yeah, I don't mind the tiny advantage with that, but I really appreciate that more so for like my fantasy hockey going up against like my family. I'm in like my family's league, so I really like sticking it to them because they're really sleeping and they're waiting until like 5 or 6 o'clock and like Justin's taking all the good players. They're gone. They're gone. All right. Well, let's get into some of our game previews here. Obviously, we've had some games start already. We'll jump back to those as we recap the games remaining. So where are we sitting right now for the games that have not started yet?
So we got up first. We got Knicks and the Bulls.
The Bulls.
Bulls are 1.5 favorites.
Okay. What's the money line value here?
Money line on this one. Let me take a look real quick.
I know the Bulls just beat them. I feel like that might be where I just want to go back to. If they got some, are they the plus or minus value on the money line?
Money minus 125 for the Bulls.
Screw it. Give me the point. What do the Bulls do? The Bulls cover. Bulls cover. 12-9 ATS this season. They just beat the Knicks. I'm getting at, 1 point? Minus 1.5. Give me the minus 1.5. I think they were at -3 earlier, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm seeing a total here of 218. Can we get it? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say the under 218.5.
No, Knicks and Tom Thibodeau, they grind it out on defense.
They're do.
Not the most impressive offensively. Isaiah Quickly has been great lately, but I think the two of them, it probably goes under there.
Yep, Quickly is a guy that I've been, he's on my team, he's off my team right now. I think he's on one of my rosters. What is it? Alfred Payton. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm. Where did he go, man? He had a great start, though. He was a guy that I drafted in the late rounds, was giving me great value consistently. I'm not saying it was elite, but he would touch all the categories, assists, couple of rebounds, points, playing some defense every now and again. Not anymore. Yeah. Quickly's coming along. He's a rookie. I think right now he's got the third highest odds behind LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Halliburton for Rookie of the Year on FanDuel. So I know you don't know about that. They suspended you, but
rub it in.
Sorry, he's coming up right now. So I'll take that over Peyton right now. And what is it? The under in 14 of their last 19 games for the Knicks. So give me the under. And I like the Bulls. I like the Bulls to win, but Tom Thibodeau knows them well. He knows some of those cats. So I'm going to go with the Bulls on not the money line, on the spread and play it safe. but I really am comfortable with taking the under in that one. The Knicks have just been cashing the under far too consistently, so I think that's a trend that we can follow tonight. Did you take any props in that game? I know Otto Porter's out. I know Thad Young's kind of a hot name for fantasy, but any props in there?
No, nothing on that one.
Yeah.
The Bulls, I honestly the Bulls have just been messing with me with that dagger with Dame Lillard. They've just been pulling at my heartstrings. So I've just been trying to stay kind of far away from them. I'll take the spread because they cover. So
yeah, I don't like to bet on my Bulls. Kind of similar with my Bears. I don't bet on the Bears a ton this year, and when I did, they hurt me. Unless I was betting the under. But typically, I was putting their unders in with just other games because the Bears were just so consistent to hitting the under. But in this scenario with basketball, just give me the cover because that's what they've been doing. And that's what they've been good at. Recently, it's kind of dialed back a little bit. They had a much better record. I want to say at one point they were 10-5 against the spread, and now they're 12-9. So it's kind of slipping a little bit, but I think that's also because they're starting to get favored in some of these games, and they were earning all of those plus options to cover. So I like them more so when they're not favored up against a good team kind of like Portland or like Milwaukee when they're going to need to score, they're going to need to put up points, and they're just going to chase. So yeah, tonight I'm going to take them to cover the spread, and I'll take the under the 218. What's the next one that we have up?
Next one we got Rockets and Thunder, and the Rockets are actually 7-point road favorites.
Road favorites. I know we got John Wall out of this game. I know we got SGA. I feel like there's someone else that we're missing here, though, too, as far as the injuries. Trevor Ariza is out, I believe, for OKC as well. That's a tough one to call. I don't really like that spread. That's not a number that I'm going to take. I think I just want to take Houston to win. They've been good. Since James Harden has left, this team is completely different. Oladipo is going to fill in. I know you're on the points with him tonight. You're on the points with Wood. So I'm confident that Houston, the Rockets, take it home for the dub, but I don't want to mess with the spread. OKC, they're kind of a tricky team. They can be spotty with the offense. They play good defense, but SGA out of the lineup, that's not a good spot for them. So I'm going to stay away from the spread there. Just give me the Rockets to win. What do you think?
I think with SGA being out, sometimes he just goes off. So I think there is a lack of scoring possibly coming from the Thunder. But I'm a huge Rockets guy right now. I got John Wall and Oladipo on my fantasy team. Didn't obviously draft them like that, but after the trade went down, I think they just grind it out, and they're in a way better spot than they were when James Harden. Weird to say, but when James Harden was on the team this year, they're in a way better spot now than where they were a few months ago.
Well, the man wasn't in shape. It was like watching the Kool-Aid man, dude, double dribbles through his legs. What the hell? Oh yeah, coming at you. Yeah, it was far too much. And right now, it's just the ball's just getting bounced around. Everybody's getting their touch before the ball's going in. So I like it a lot more. Eric Gordon, another guy that I like there for Houston. He's on my fantasy squad. So yeah, I think they take it home the win. But I'm not picking them to cover the spread. I think 7 points is just a little bit too much for a team that, even without Harden still, they've been good, but, it's still a smaller sample size. So I'm going to stay away from the points. What's the total looking like in that matchup?
Total on that one, we got 222.
222. I feel like it was 223 earlier. Man, that's a tough number, man. I don't like putting my money on it. Gun to my head, I feel like this is an under spot.
Yeah, honestly, I would not advise many people to take it. I think under, just with two teams that necessarily aren't the best in the league. They're kind of just middle of the pack or lower end. So I would lean under probably, but not playing that tonight.
Yeah, it's not a favorite play for me either. What's the next game up?
Next up, we got Clippers and the Cavaliers, and the Clippers are -9 road favorites after that loss that they had at the hands of the Nets last night.
Yeah. Did you watch that game? We'll get into that later when we talk about Brooklyn. I don't want to go off the deep end right now. It's very frustrating. But anyways, Clippers are going to cover. Clippers cover 9. Yeah. Cleveland is getting Andre Drummond back in the game, But Cleveland has an issue with they got Andre Drummond and they got Jared Allen. They can't run them both on the floor. When they do, it doesn't work. It's ugly. And he's just getting back into the game. Clippers are a way better team. They're going to have, a game plan to stop him or slow him down. I like the Clippers here, cover the points, money line. What's the total?
Total on that one is 219.
I feel like that one's come down a little bit, and I'll take the over on that because I feel like that's come down like 2 or 3 points. So I'll take the over in this one. Cleveland still has some offensive weapons. Garland's starting to step up. Obviously, Sexton's still there. My boy C.D. Osman likes to sprinkle in some action off the bench now that they've moved him there. So, yeah, I'll take the over, but give me the Clippers to cover and to win. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I actually was thinking a lot on this game earlier to the show, and I wanted to go Cavs to cover, but then I was looking at how the Clippers do against the spread. They're a good team. They're top 5, I believe, against the spread. I like the over there, though, just because, like you said, them guards that they have in Cleveland, Sexton's a beast. Any night, if he wants to turn it on, I mean, no one looks like they could stop him. So, yeah, I like the over there.
Yeah, I like the over as well. Sorry, I'm watching the Pacers and the Bucks here. The Pacers are pissing me off. They're down now 14. They can't stop a shot. I need the under here, folks. We'll get to this game once we get to the live updates here. But I watched Pacers make a 3, and then Bucks come right back down the floor, make a 3, pissing me off. I need the under, please. For the love of God, stop it. Oh, Brogdon just got blocked. Not good. Not good. Let's go to the props. Gonna need them. Gonna need something to cash. Let's go. But yeah, I think it's just keeping it simple with the Clippers. They're the better team at the end of the day. Picking Cleveland to win, or not even win, but to cover up against the Clippers right now, they're in a different realm. They're not the same. And honestly, I felt like the Clippers could have beaten Brooklyn in that game. They were bested by some of their worst play. Watching Reggie Jackson walk up the floor and take a 3 he had no business taking, when they were down like 7. But we'll get into that when we get into the Brooklyn update. What's the next game up we got here?
Kind of a stinker here. We got Heat versus the Wizards, and the Heat are 9.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I don't love that number. Russell Westbrook is out for the Wizards, so there should be some value there for them to cover. I guess I'll take the cover. I'll take the 9.5. I'd like to buy it down to 9 just to play it a little bit safer. Yep. So buy that number down with Westbrook out. I think it's it's a clean bet, but I like the over. I know it seems a little bit high, but the Wizards play no defense, so I'm thinking the Heat can really put up some points tonight.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't see how you could possibly lay your money on the Wizards tonight. Not saying Russell Westbrook is that much of an X factor for them, because some games he really hasn't been too effective, but I watched the Wizards a few nights ago when they were playing against the Nets, I believe, and they just don't have a lot. I mean, beyond Beal and Russell went off for 40 or so against the Nets, but I mean, really, it's the Bradley Beal show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. To me, that team's missing Thomas Bryant. He was doing very, very well before his injury. They got Rui Hachimura back. They got Denny back from injury, so. I guess, help's on the way, but like BFD, they're bad. They're just not good. Yeah. Well, we also got some talk later on about Bradley Beal, so we'll get to him a little bit later in the show. But what do you think about the over? I mean, can both teams hit it? Can they both play their role to hit the number? I believe it's 223?
No, this is ballooned up. 228 right now.
Wow. 228. Yeah. I don't know. I still like it, man. The Wizards play literally no defense. They're 30th against total score, 30th against field goal percentage. The Heat can play some defense, but man, I got to imagine they're just Beal, do whatever you want. Go ahead. Do you. We'll stop everybody else and we'll win. Right? Yeah. I mean, it could be me. Dragic, Hero, who else? Probable. I mean, Avery Bradley, probable. So they're getting more healthy. I think their scores are going to be there tonight. I really loved over 223, but 228, man, that's high. Give me over 227. Buy it down a point and take the over.
I think this is actually interesting. I think the Heat. I'm most nervous about the Heat being
Mm-hmm.
able to score consistently and put up big numbers. I think they win this game, and I don't. I mean, the cover might be a little tough. I do think they cover, but I don't know. I think I'm going to ride the under on that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any like trends there to play on that?
Let me see if I got anything. Nothing off the top of my head.
Pacers are blowing it for me. Down to a 19-point lead for the Bucks. Bad night. Ooh.
Can't find anything on this one. But I'm just not too crazy about it. It's also
a high number.
Horrendous
It's a high
game.
number.
Yeah, horrendous game that I mean it could go any which way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not anything I'm dying to bet.
Not in a hurry for sure. No. I would not be in a hurry to run that direction. Would not be running to the sports book to place that bet. But I'm just feeling it. Like I just don't see anything coming from the Wizards' side of the ball defensively. They've just been really, really bad. I was getting into it with Blake yesterday. It was like, oh yeah, I picked Portland to cover, up against the Wiz. He's like, no way. They beat him by like 30, I think. Something like that. He was talking up Westbrook, and I was like, damn it. He was starting to convince me like I made the wrong decision. I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, just let me make my bet.
I've had Russell on my fantasy team all year, and he's been a bit of a disappointment. So I'm out on the Wizards.
The team in general is a disappointment. Like we were all hoping to see more, just like an elevated roster, close to 500. No, like it's just in shambles, and it's just another Russell Westbrook situation. Like we're going to get to it later. Like where should Bradley Beal go next? And it's just like, wow, is this Oklahoma or is it Washington, D.C.? Like which is it? Scott Brooks is our coach. Russell Westbrook is our point guard. James Harden. Oh no, Bradley Beal, but similar, but close. Okay. But you know what I mean? Like it's a very similar situation to what he was dealing with there. So I feel like one of those dudes is going to be gone soon. I don't think it'll be Westbrook. It'll probably be Beal, but yeah, Scott Brooks might be on that fired coach prop list as well. So we'll get to that here in a bit. What's the next game up?
Next game up, Timberwolves versus San Antonio Spurs. Spurs are 7.5 favorites. Mm-hmm. I think this moved down a little bit. I think I saw it at 8 earlier.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, to me, this is just hammer the Spurs. I think that they are so much better. I don't know what is going on in Minnesota. I don't understand. I mean, I look at the players they have, and I feel like they should be not too bad of a team. But, I mean, you haven't even seen Ricky Rubio hasn't contributed much of anything as of late.
Dropped him.
Yeah, so
tier.
And I do believe the Spurs are one of the better teams against the spread as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take the Spurs to cover. I was thinking like Juan Hernangomez is going to be back for the Timberwolves. Maybe that's the ticket. Maybe he keeps them close. No, not going to happen. They're going to start. I think Anthony Edwards at the 4 and Naz Reid at the 5. No, thank you.
Wow.
I want nothing. Oh yeah, going small tonight. I want no part of the Timberwolves in this game. No props, no picks, nothing. Give me the Spurs all day. They've been the better team. I believe they have Rudy Gay out of the lineup, and obviously LaMarcus Aldridge is out indefinitely. But that doesn't do enough for me. Rudy Gay's coming off the damn bench. You know what I mean? Like, and he's putting up numbers, but potential 6th man of the year right now. He's playing really well off the bench, off the pine, but not going to be there tonight. Popovich is going to have a game plan for it. He's going to take care of them. Give me them to cover, win. What's the total?
Total on that one, 226.
I like the under. I don't think Minnesota plays their role. I could easily see a 110, a 100, 105, a 100 Spurs win very easily. And I'm saying that specifically because I would actually take the Timberwolves under 100 points, under 99.5 in this game.
I like that.
Just saying.
I think too. I lean the under there just because I think the Spurs, they're never like that flashy team that's going to go off, but they do all of the things right. Every kind of aspect, whether it be in fast break or on defense or they just get away and they just know how to get it done. So I think I'm leaning under. What's going on there? Pacers.
Nothing. The Pacers just don't want to play basketball. Have these guys even watched Hoosiers before? What the hell? They're down by 20 now. But right before that, they had just fumbled the ball going into the backcourt. Oh no! And then they got it up there for like an open dunk or whatever. Oh, open corner three from the Bucks. Oh, did it go in? Of course it did. Gah! Goddamn Bucks. This is a lesson learned though. Justin, stop betting on teams that play back to backs versus teams that don't. Like, I hate buying into those trends though. Like, I just can't stand it. But it's got to be a real thing at this point. Like, man, Dougie McBucket's just missing three after that's like 3 possessions in a row. Okay, not 3 because they made that open dunk, but Sabonis, that was not your lamp to get or rebound, bastard. Stop it.
We got 4 minutes left in the second,
half.
Right?
Yep.
In the half.
I got 4:20 right now. Dang it. But yeah, Milwaukee up 60-37. If anything, I just need the Pacers just to play their role in keeping this one on the under, because that's where all my money's at tonight. And if they just, if they want to go cold, that's fine. Don't cover the spread for me, because I did pick them to cover the spread. But right now they're at 100 points. We're at not even at halftime. Not great for me. Not great. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to need some defense to open up here somewhere for either of these teams, but doesn't seem to be happening. So, all right, next one up. Getting caught up in this game. Making me angry.
All right, let's see. So we left off on the Timberwolves Spurs. Next up, we got Phoenix Suns versus the Pelicans, -3.5 for the Suns. What do you got?
I like the Suns -3. I think they can pull that off.
Yeah, I love the Suns. I love betting on the Suns. I think they're a great team against the spread.
Oh, yeah, they've been looking really good this year. I like them a lot. Devin Booker, game time decision. Do we have any update on that?
If he's last I heard, he is playing.
Okay, well then, yeah. Suns cover 3. Keep it simple. Suns win. What's the total? I am looking at 223.
Yep.
It's kind of a tricky number. The Pelicans can score, and the Pelicans are at home. I don't love it though. It's not something I want to bet on. It's kind of a tricky number to me. If it's like 218, 219, I'm hammering it, But those 4 points are kind of.
It hits that kind of that middle point where it's like it's not quite high enough, but it's also not quite low enough to really feel which way you want to go.
Right.
I think they could hit the over though. I'll just say, you know what, I'll ride with the over. Blind bet.
There's offense. There's offense to be had. That middle group, Bridges and was it Johnson for Phoenix? They're getting it done. Zion's going to get his in this game, but I think Brandon Ingram might have a hard time taking it to the basket tonight. Another in and out for the Pacers. I got to turn this off. I got to find something else to watch. This is fucking terrible. This is terrible. But no, there's some sloppy play right now for the Bucks, so I'll take that all day. I need some help with that. But man, this game's pissing me off. Suns are a better team though. They win this one. I like the idea of the Pelicans at home. Kind of intrigues me because I always love that home plus option. In a close line. But the Suns are a better team, and -155 even on the road, I think is just too low. I think they should be at like -222, -250, something like that.
Yeah, and Chris Paul's been going pretty crazy these past few games. Good to see that. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. Devin Booker kind of battling the injuries. So, I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna say it's a little bit more defensive minded. Maybe the Suns have a little bit of a harder time playing on the road, get off to a slow start, but wind up pulling it out for the win. So, might be a little bit closer than we think, but in the end, in the fourth quarter, they carry the game away, cover the spread of 3 points.
Yeah, I really do too. Like right now on my book, I'm seeing that there's that hook of 3.5, and I'm not too crazy about that. Bring it to 3 for sure because I think keeping that on the table, I like that a little bit more than having a hook in there.
Agreed.
So yeah, I think we're riding Suns. Next up, we got Blake's Boston Celtics versus the Kings, and the Celtics are only minus at the Kings, and they're only 1.5 or 1 point favorites.
I got -1. They're in one of my parlays, I think, with who is it? Philly. So both should be good tonight. Hopefully, as long as the Celtics take care of business. But yeah, I know they're going to the West Coast. They're going to Sacramento, but 1 point. I do know that Kemba's out, Pritchard is out as well behind him. So we're going to see a lot of Jaylen Brown and Tatum tonight, but I like the matchups. I mean, De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield will, they'll be able to do some damage with Kemba and Pritchard out, but Jaylen Brown's going to shut down Buddy Hield, and Tatum's going to take it to Barnes and Bagley. So I expect Thies and Thompson to be able to take care of it in the paint up against Holmes, and if they throw out Hassan Whiteside, maybe he gets a couple more minutes tonight. I think he matches up a little bit better with Thies and Thompson. So we'll see what happens there. But I still think, again, this is a situation where just take the better team here and take the value at -1. Like, okay, they can lose by 1, to the Kings. And the Celtics have just been a team that's been covering. They covered the +2 for me the other night up against the Lakers, cashed a big ticket for me. It was cold for a couple of days. They got me right. So I'm riding the Celtics. And I tend to do that, with teams that just, if they keep cashing your tickets, just keep going back to them. If they lose, fine. They've already won you 4 or 5 bets. Who cares if they lose 1? You know what I mean? I got burned by 1. I got burned by 1 yesterday. Been riding Memphis to the ground. Grizzlies, I was so angry.
Yeah.
I was so angry when they were postponing games because I couldn't make any money. It's killing me. It's killing me. Their first game back, cash. Last night, it was the first loss I took from Memphis, and I put them in with that Portland covering up against the Wizards. It's like Portland +2. I'm like, yeah, thanks, I'll take that. Yeah, I thought it was an easier pick. Blake was trying to sell me that it wasn't, but end of the day, that one hit and the other didn't. So ouch. But yeah, when you get your team, ride them out. Celtics are one of those teams for me right now, so I'm gonna keep riding them until they give me a reason not to, like significant reason. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head, especially with who's stopping Jason Tatum tonight. No one's been stopping Jaylen Brown all year either. So I really just think, like, even with Kemba out, Jeff Teague isn't the worst. I think he gets the job done there. I mean, he will have his hands full with De'Aaron Fox, but I mean, right now, just with those two on the Celtics, you're good. They handled Steph last night, so I think they'll cover this one pretty easily.
Yep, absolutely. All right, cool. So let's jump into some of the live updates then. See who we got up right now. Oh, hey, look at that. Indy within 15. That'll just kill my under, though, you sons of bitches. I think that game I still took it like 2. Let me see what I can get it at. I thought I got it like 230 something. Was it under? Where is it for that game? Under 232.5. So I got some room to work with here. I do. I just need a really cold second half. 232 is still a high number, so we'll see what we can do.
That's what you got it at before the game, right?
Yeah, under 232.5. So I still feel okay about it, but man, what is it? We're at 66.51 with 7.6 seconds left in the half. That's 107? No, shit, 117 right now. So they're trending to hit the over right now. I need a cold second half from the Bucks. For certain. All right, sorry, I got a little tied up in that. Let me get over to live betting here. All right, so Pacers and the Bucks right now, like I mentioned. Oh, it already has them at half. I'm behind 7 seconds. So 68-51, the Bucks. Right now, the live total is at 233.5. So that's good math for me. Wow. That's very good math for me. But what the hell? Oh, they locked the spread and they locked that number as well. So they'll unlock the numbers after halftime. But right now they have a 20-point spread. So yeah, I will take the Pacers live at +20.5.
Yeah.
Except I dumped the whole war chest that night, so I can't even bet it. But what do you think about the total though? 233.5. What do you think? Am I still alive here?
Yeah, if you got the under, I think you're still alive because what I'm seeing, I got like 230. So I think you still got a shot. You just got to hope for no late game runs there or anything like that.
You're telling me there's a chance and no overtime.
Yes. I mean, right now I don't think you got to worry about overtime. Pacers got to make a hell of a comeback. But I'm kind of shocked by. I mean, like I think we all know that the Bucks are the better team in this matchup, but. I mean, record-wise, they're very similar, and
it's a lot of separation for two good teams. It's making me upset. The Pacers again. Have you seen the movie The Hoosiers? I feel like that should be like a prerequisite when you join the Pacers. Like, hey, sit down. You're going to watch a movie, like Ted Lasso. We're watching The Iron Giant. You're watching Hoosiers, all right? That's it. By the way, I just started watching Ted Lasso. It's my favorite television show. Period. Sorry, Breaking Bad. You were there. Now it's Ted Lasso. Thanks, Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, man. Better than Breaking Bad. I don't know.
If you've ever coached anything ever,
Ted Lasso is the show for you.
it's got. I'm not going to say it's got something for everybody, but it's amazing.
It's hilarious.
I'll have to check that out.
I was sitting there watching it and laughing so hard. I said, this is my favorite show. This is my favorite show.
I said it out loud. Like, this is the best ever. Oh.
Football coach that goes to coach soccer is fucking hilarious. Rolling on the floor. I mean, if you're a sports fan, I guess. But all right, next one up here. We got the Mavs over the Hawks. Mavs have lost 7 in a row. They got a 4-point lead now up against the Hawks. I believe I took the Hawks to cover +2 at home. So there they are. Got a nice little basket there. They're within 2, 26-24, just starting the second quarter. So I'm still alive there. Hawks have, been the better team as of recent. They're kind of trading wins and losses, but their losses have been to the really good teams. And Brooklyn, the Clippers, the Lake Show, or actually no, they beat the Clippers. Who was it? Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and the Lakers. That's what it was. But they beat the Wizards. They beat the Clippers, which is kind of odd for them. But they've been kind of a trendy team, kind of back and forth. The Mavs, though, 7 in a row. You think they pull this one out tonight?
So actually, before this game, this was one I was really, really paying attention to because talent-wise, looking at it, I really, really liked the Mavs. I thought 2 points, but then you take into account recent play, being on the road, and Luka. I mean, I don't know. He's still a great player, but it just seems like anytime he's driving, he's whining, and I'm just not sold on them. They're definitely better with Porzingis, don't get me wrong. I think they're still trying to figure out their identity for this with everyone with what they've been hit with COVID, with injuries. Porzingis missed, I believe it was like the first 9 games. So, I mean, I think that the Mavs have like a little bit of soul searching to do still.
Yeah, I do not like them in this game. Like I said, drop 7 in a row. I only took Atlanta to cover the 2. I didn't pick a winner here, just because Atlanta, again, they've been kind of back and forth all year, but they're coming off a loss. So I'm going to say that they're going to win tonight. Right now, the live spread is actually the Hawks +3.5. So they're only down 2. I'm going to continue to ride that. Give me the Hawks as long as they're the plus option on the spread. I'm going to take it all day. As long as it doesn't get to like 1, as long as I'm at like 3 or 4 or 5, I'm going to take them all day. The total right now is at 213.5. We're looking at 31-26 Mavs with 10 minutes left in the second. I don't hate that number. I don't hate that number. The Mavs, they've been hitting the over. The Hawks haven't been, but I'm gonna take the over there.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with that because I think the Hawks also they can get hot and put up points. I mean, Trae Young score. That's what he's born to do. And I got to give a shout out to my boy Clint Capella. That man, he just gets it done out there. Grabbing, he'll probably have. I would be curious at the end of the year how many games that he has more points than rebounds at the end.
Not
of it.
many.
This dude,
not many.
He's out there getting like 20 rebounds
18,
in games,
19, 20.
Yeah. It's like.
He's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch. He's a huge ad for them this year. Huge ad. I don't know what they'd be without him, but do you think he's kind of hurting Collins, value a little bit, either in fantasy, props, whatever? Right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about that. And he's been so good that you can't justify giving Collins, taking away minutes from Capella. And I mean, we saw a few weeks ago there was a little bit of friction between Trae Young and John Collins, so. I think it does take away from Collins for sure. From where we expected Collins to be going in this year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think people were a little bit higher on him than they should have been, after the emergence of Clint Capella. So, yeah, Clint Capella's getting it done. Collins, not so much, but he's still a great player. So,
let's see what's next one. We got Oklahoma and Houston. When we were talking up a bit, Thunder up 10-9. Still pretty early here. Thunder got the 5.5 point spread. Total is 234.5. Nah, too early to really touch in down anything. What else we got? Yeah, Knicks Bulls. We're pretty caught up here. Yeah, all these other games are still early on.
76ers Hornets. You got that one?
Actually, I don't. Where is that one? Oh, here we go. 76ers Hornets. I skipped over after the
but
yeah, 76ers up 64-42. I have 76ers covering, so that's awesome. Right now, would you take the Hornets to cover plus 20.5?
Sure, why not, right?
no.
No?
I'm still riding with the Sixers. Yeah,
Damn.
I'm riding with the Sixers. I really do think, especially right now, I mean, you got, what, a 24-point buffer? I'll ride with it. You know what?
Yeah. That's a 4-point buffer. It's 20.
You can go to the office tomorrow and tell all your buddies, yeah, I covered this 21-point spread. Brag a little bit.
Oh, man. I guess so. I got one other guy in my office. I don't talk to him. We're not friends, so like that's kind of how that goes. That's what I was telling you earlier. Like we're missing Blake tonight because corporate just like showed up or like Blake, get to work or something. I don't know. I was telling Steve, I was like, yeah, really happy I don't have one of those corporates. Like my work is just like, well, we'll take care of that or we won't. You know, if anything, I'm like as close to I'm as close to corporate as it gets. Like yeah, that's about it. Like guys, we should probably take care of this customer a little bit better. Like, you know what? They're kind of being an asshole to our workers right now. Like, well. Customer pays the bills, so
yeah, they can wait a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. Stuff like that. So yeah, glad I don't have to worry about that. Won't be gloating about it. Not gonna do it, Steve.
I'm not taking the Sixers to cover minus 20.5. It's very early still. Oh, it's break time. Break time is what the sportsbook calls it. They don't call it halftime, they call it break time. I like that. Rhymes goes with breakfast. Breakfast, break time. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna take them. Live total right now is 214.5. At break time, 64-42. Can we hit the over? Can we hit 215?
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm leaning right now. We're looking at what, 106 points right now?
Well,
I think I lean under. I don't.
Let's see. The 76ers are on pace for 128, and they're on pace for 84. So not so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under on that for sure.
Yeah, I'll play that. I'll take that direction as well. All right, let's jump into. Let's see. Let's go over to the All-Star starters right now. If you want, you can kind of take away with like the East. You know, you posted your article on the East starters right now. Who's your starting five?
So I went with my backcourt. I got. Bradley Beal. I mean, it's a terrible team. He's in a bad situation, but dude's averaging 34.5 points. I mean, if that was LeBron James on the Wizards, he'd still be in this All-Star game. So I'm going to take him. Then I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown at the other guard. I think he's averaging about 27 a game. He's really, in my opinion, he's the best player he's been the best player on the Celtics, especially with availability at times. Jason Tatum had to sit out that stretch. So I think it's only fair you give it to Jaylen Brown.
Could you see Harden maybe? Could you see James Harden maybe stealing that spot from Brown here?
I could see it. I think it's hard to really justify, though, him taking that spot unless he really goes crazy here.
I mean, look at his assists now, though. But look at his ball distribution now. Like, we'll get into it a little bit here. Like last night, like that, he had a pass to Jeff Green all the way down the floor, wide ass open. He looked like Patrick Mahomes, even across the entire court. Right. He's getting 10, 11, 12 plus assists a night. If he keeps on pace with the scoring, the story, the nets, the stardom, all that essentially media power. Could that put him in there over Brown? I mean, I agree with the pick, but I feel like it's kind of arguable. And I feel like Kyrie, like maybe if he didn't do the whole crazy Kyrie shit, then maybe I'd be putting his name in there too, just off of kind of like that same trend.
For sure.
Popularity, the media. He just dropped 40 points last night. He's kind of getting into his own in that system, we'll call it, right? But yeah, I mean, could you see anybody stealing it from either of those guys in Brown or Beal, other than maybe Harden?
I'm not too high on anyone other than Harden. I really think Harden with the star, his star status, I think that people are definitely going to be wanting to see him in there, and who wouldn't want to see, him in his first Eastern Conference All-Star game, him playing along KD. I mean, and I do think that would almost be a not like Jaylen Brown doesn't have necessarily that star factor that James Harden does, and so it's very possible to see them. Or if people want to knock Beal for his team not being too great, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, shit, we got Trae Young in there last year who was on a terrible team. So I don't really see too many people other than those three in my eyes.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
You see anyone?
Like Bulls Twitter says Zach LaVine should be in there. I mean, he's going to make the team. He's an all-star hands down. But there's some Bulls Twitter folks.
I think he's an all-star.
But he's not really a starter for me. Other than that, no. Like based off of like what I have here, like Ben Simmons doing it, great, but not elite. Malcolm Brogdon, I'd like to see him in there, but not going to get in the starting lineup. Irving kind of in that mix too, but that's about it. Those are the only real names that would come to mind. But Harden is the only one that I feel could threaten, at least as a starter, like over Brown. I think Beal. I know he's on a bad team, but I'm going to say he's a starter. Like at the end of the day, like it's an all-star performance. Like that's what it's all about is the all-stars. It's not about your team. It's an MVP race. You know what I mean? So yeah, give me Beal in there all day. I think Beal is more of a lock than say Harden or Brown, but I do think that Brown should go ahead of Harden, but I feel like Harden's going to challenge him, whatever it is, voting or counts or whatever the hell it is.
Definitely. And everyone check out my article on Take the Hizzy. I will say I did the Eastern Conference All-Stars this week. I felt like I was just going straight chalk when I was doing it, though.
It kind of is.
And then when I was thinking about it, I was like, because I kept thinking, I was like, all right, maybe I switch out this person. And it was like, well, there's a lot of people who deserve to be All-Stars, but I think there really is those select few that deserve to be all-starters.
Yeah, exactly. And you can jump into your next three because I don't have any argument for these three as starters. Like these guys have to be it. I got one creative option, but you go ahead.
Yeah, so I got Giannis. I mean, he's getting it done in every aspect of the game. I mean, I think it'll be tough for him to win another MVP this year, but all-star starter, that should be a cakewalk for him.
Absolutely.
Joel Embiid. I think he'll be rocking it down at center. I mean, he's been a beast, and he's just been doing it defensively, offensively. 28 points. I mean, and help me out here. Who was my last one? Why am I blanking on this?
KD.
Oh yeah, duh. It's because he's in the East now. It's throwing me for a loop.
Yeah,
but Kevin Durant looks bad.
KD is probably the only one that I would actually like maybe question, but he's going to be a starter. Like hands down, he will be a starter for the All-Star game. But he's the only like Giannis and Embiid, they're locks because to me that's 1-2 in the MVP voting, in my opinion. And I'm still going Giannis over Embiid, kind of name value that media push again. But those two for me, like they're number 1 and 2 in MVP candidates across the league. Maybe throw Jesus Christ, Jokic in there. I don't know why I was blanking on him. I was saying Jokic in my head, but Doncic was about to come out of my mouth. Recency bias. But and Europeans, what are you going to do? But yeah, Giannis is a lock. Joel Embiid is a lock. Joel Embiid is one of my favorite guys this year so far. First round grab for me in one of my fantasy leagues. So I've been loving him, loving that performance I've been getting out of him. So I'm going to be riding him throughout the year. KD, I think we could make some arguments for Sabonis, for a Tatum. But other than that, maybe Bam. I don't think so.
Bam.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Enough. Not to be a starter either.
But Tatum or Sabonis, I feel like have put together a very solid body of work all around. Points, rebounds, assists, very important to their team. MVPs of their team still. Maybe obviously there's a little bit more competition there. Jaylen Brown, Tatum. But at the end of the day, the Celtics need Tatum. The Pacers need Sabonis. So I can see one of those two threatening, but man, like going over the top of KD, all that stardom and all that media power, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Yeah. So that's the only guy I can make an argument for. Do you want to go into the West, or you want me to try a stab at that? Or
you can take a stab at it. I'm curious.
So a lot of people are saying, like I'll throw these 3 guards out. You give me your best 2 out of 3 who should be the starters. Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, and Luka Doncic. Who should be the best 2 out of 3? Maybe you want to add Paul George in there too. Best 2 out of 4.
So I actually, when I was writing my article, I was scribbling down and I was writing out who I think would be for each. And I did actually put Paul George in there. But now when you say some of these other names, I mean, like, it's hard to keep Steph out of there. I mean, if you're also doing it based off of stardom, things like that, I mean, Steph's going to be a lock in there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, younger kids are obsessed with him. I mean, he's a lock to get in there. Luka.
So like recency bias, does that pull Luka out? Just how bad he's been doing?
I think so. I mean, I don't think he's built. I mean, obviously he's a star, going to be a star, everything like that. But I just don't think he's on the level of. And I think Dame Lillard. I have been seeing some slander on Twitter for Dame Lillard out of nowhere. I'm like, I've always been a huge Dame Lillard fan. He's been getting it done. Put the dagger in the Bulls a few nights ago. It would be a toss-up for me between Dame and Paul George. I'll tell you, and when I did my rough draft, I actually chose Paul George.
Okay. I mean, to me, it's either Steph and Dame or Steph and Paul George. Right now, I'm kind of leaning Steph and Paul George just because the Trailblazers, they're beat up, man. And I think it's going to be hard for Dame to kind of like, really push out that elite production that's going to keep him that conversation. Luka, I think, is in there too. I just think he's going to wind up being a reserve. So for starters, I like Steph and Paul George out of the backcourt. For the front court, I'll go with my lock, Jokic, for sure.
Yeah.
He's there. Now doing like kind of like a best out of 4. So like LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis. Oh, man, I got to go 5 with this. Rudy Gobert or Zion. I'll keep Zion out, actually. I'll say that he's not.
I think Zion's more of a reserve.
But, dude, his production, though, has been crazy. Like, his efficiency is off the charts right now. Give him the ball, he puts in the basket. Give him the ball, he puts in the basket. Like, that's how Zion's been going recently. So I like Davis, actually. I kind of like Davis over LeBron, but I think Davis is I think he's sitting more games than LeBron right now. He's getting more rest.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't think both of them make that in?
No, not as starters. I think they only get one of them, and I think it's just like, go ahead, old man. You only got so many left kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think LeBron's in there. I think Davis starts on the bench. I think it's hard to keep Kawhi and LeBron out. It's just that name and star power.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what
I don't know. I think I'm
like,
going both of them.
Okay. All right. So Jokic, LeBron, and Kawhi then for sure.
I'm going to go Davis, LeBron, and
Jokic.
Tim. Yeah.
The only time LeBron gets to play the 3. Hoorah. Good job, buddy. Unless they're running Marc Gasol and fucking Davis and him, that's kind of weird. But I mean, LeBron plays everywhere. He's probably going to make Luka go play the 4. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, right.
This is my ball. This is my ball, and I'm old, so I get first dibs. Looking at 73-57 Milwaukee over the Pacers. Getting a little bit closer. I don't hate it. 13, 16, whatever. Not going to have the skills competition this year, but which do you prefer, dunk contest or 3-point competition?
I'm more, I guess, dunk contest, just because I feel like those are the ones that kind of you remember years and years and years after. So I'm more of a dunk contest guy. I was a huge Nate Robinson fan growing up.
Fair enough. I like the 3-point competition. I miss you remember when like Kirk Heinrich was getting in the 3-point competition, causing some havoc in there. Oh yeah, I miss Captain Kirk in the 3-point competition. I mean, I'm not really going to miss either of them this year because realistically, like they do every competition wrong. Like, no, they don't have the right guys in the dunk competition. Everyone who you think is going to win the 3-pointer wins it. It's kind of ridiculous. Is there anyone that you're going to miss kind of out of that? Like anyone that you would have liked to seen in the dunk competition this year?
Honestly, Miles Bridges from the Hornets. I think it's also maybe he's more of an in-game dunker. But I mean, he can jump out of the gym. he'll throw one back and just slam it home as hard as any dunker I've seen in a long time. I'd like to see what he has. How about you?
Jeremy Grant for the Pistons.
Okay.
I think that would be awesome. I think getting him in there would be great. Blake Griffin for the Pistons as well. He'd probably show up just because it's the dunk competition, and he needs to remind people that he still plays basketball because his stat line can be a little forgetting sometimes. So yeah, I think those two would be solid. 3-point competition. Anybody could be in it for all I care. Yeah. I mean, Zach LaVine could be in both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would love this. That's what I'm missing. I wish Zach LaVine would have been a double skill competitions winner this year, pissing people off. That would have been fun. All right, how about let's get into Brooklyn a little bit. One of the best teams offensively, historically, going to be one of the best teams on offense. It's just that they're also going to be one of the worst teams on defense. They're still running minus 2 and 4, like game to game right now. Like this is ridiculous. So yesterday they beat the Clippers, but they were up 7 with a minute left in the game, and they only won by like a handful of points. Like they were trading baskets going back and forth here, and at one point the Clippers were within 1. They were within 1, and free throws really settled this game here. So are you still buying Brooklyn as a deep playoff contender, given what we've seen thus far?
And I was I was really on this Brooklyn train, but I think it's going to be tough for them to close out games at the end when they can't make a stop. And you know what? I mean, Kyrie in those final minutes last night, Kyrie was on fire. And then after they started to move the ball a little bit. James Harden got it. Boom, step back 3 he gets. And then next time down the floor, KD makes a shot. That's not always going to happen. And even with them making all those shots, they could barely keep the Clippers away from beating them.
Yeah, the Clippers are coming back and doing the same thing. The Kevin Durant three-pointer that you just referenced, Nick Batum, who was defending him, went down the floor and hit a wide-open corner 3. Durant was nowhere to be seen on coverage. I was watching the play. I was like, man, like Kyrie got like pushed a little bit. Harden's man was kind of all over him. But look, Nick Batum's wide open in the corner. Where the fuck is KD? Like, where is he? Like, what are you doing, KD? You know what I mean? Like, none of these guys are playing defense, and it's share ball. Your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Oh, Joe Harris for a 3. Oh, Jeff Green for a layup. All right, my turn, your turn, my turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Hey, Jeff Green for a corner 3. Hey, Joe Harris for a layup. Like. It's kind of redundant, and I see them smoking their first round opponent. Like I feel like they'll win in the first round of the playoffs, 4 or 5 games. But this is a team that needs home court advantage because it still holds some value here in the NBA, even if they don't have fans in the playoffs. And they can't lose any of them. They can't lose any home games. They lose a home game, they're going to lose their series. And so I honestly feel like they can get bounced in the second round. I really do, because I still see them finishing as 5th seed. If they finish the 4th seed, okay, you at least get home court, but anything could happen, in that second round. So I honestly have them busting early on. I don't think they're deep enough. We're going to have some waiver wire talk here in a minute. They're adding Iman Shumpert. Is that going to make a difference on defense?
Nah, that doesn't move the needle enough for me. And I think you really hit it. Like, their lack of depth is you could just watch the game and you can see how apparent that they do not have people. I mean, back when they were battling when Sexton went off against them, their bench had like 10
losses
points
to Cleveland, by the way, back to back.
And their bench had 10 points. I mean, that is not. You're not going to be a very good team down the stretch. And when you start playing better teams who do have depth, even like the Boston Celtics depth compared to what this team has, I'm taking the Boston Celtics 10 times out of 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And especially if the Celtics are going to have home court advantage over the Nets in the playoffs. You know what I mean? The 76ers are going to have home court advantage over these guys. I'm not saying the Pacers are going to, but if they get right, I don't care if Levert's not coming. I don't think he's going to come back this season, to be honest with you. But if they get right, like Jeremy Lamb, McBuckets, if those guys get hot and they go on a run, that's a team that I think can beat them in 7 games, 6 games probably, if they have home court over them. But still, there's some teams in this Eastern Conference that, I'm sorry, they're just deeper. They're just a better squad overall. And they've been built for a while, like the Celtics, like the 76ers. I know they just got Rivers and everything. They've put some pieces together with Curry this year, but Simmons and Embiid have been there. Harris has been there. Danny Green's been there a little bit. So yeah, I think that they're going to, honestly, I still feel like we're looking at, Celtics 76ers in that Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's what we're going to want to see. I don't believe in the Nets to make a deep run here. Kyrie was saying, "Oh yeah, we really wanted to show the Clippers we had them. We were going to see them in the finals. This is a team that we're going to see." I'm like, buddy, this is a Western Conference team, pal. Like, no, you're not going to see this team in the playoffs because you're not going to the finals. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm any bets for 76ers Celtics making it? I'll take it. Stay away from Brooklyn. Stay away from them.
Yeah. And don't be fooled by, I think that no matter what, the Celtics will be one of the the Nets will be one of the funnest teams to watch because literally you just see constant scoring, but when it comes down to what wins ball games, they don't have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And all respect to Steve Nash, like I think that he's trying to do a good job here. Like Steve Nash, leader of men, like he's a dude that can rally a locker room. As a point guard, it was spoken about plenty. Had an MVP season, has a lot of recognition from players around the league. He got a ton of nod of approval for taking that job. So I don't think it's him. I think that he doesn't have the pieces. This team is still, a trade away. They need that big man. They need an elite center. Jeff Green is not going to be the guy down the stretch. DeAndre Jordan is not going to be the guy down the stretch. Joe Harris, he's a nice piece, if you're needing somebody for fantasy, but he's not a guy that you're going to be able to rely on for over 25 plus minutes a night. He good shooter, not a great defender, can't do anything in the post. You got KD playing the 4. There's plenty of guys that can body him up at that position, that can run him down the floor on the fast break. Like it's just not there. I'm not sold on Brooklyn. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating because it's star ball at the end of the day. It's not good basketball. Like it's fun to watch. Yeah. Fast pace, fast breaks, the overs, gambling on it is awesome, but it's not going to be awesome on it if you have a season long bet for them to go deep. So
yeah, no chance.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up here, let's talk about that because I mentioned the trade. We were going to jump into Bradley Beal trade talk, but what's a piece that you could see moved away from this team to get a good piece back? Like they can't trade for Jared Allen. Last week we were talking about Andre Drummond getting bought out. Still hasn't happened. Is there any other centers around the league that you could see them targeting that says, hey, this guy's really going to push the defensive mold on us here?
The only person that I've really even heard kind of thrown in, and I have heard that the Nets are interested, it's actually another, I believe he plays for the Cavaliers, a different Cavaliers center, JaVale McGee. There's a chance. But I think it's a real problem that they have right now because they've run themselves so thin is they might not be able to make a significant move this season. Like, mid-season, I think they might be struggling to do that. It might be something that they have to weather out this storm. And then, you know what? They regroup next year and try and figure out what's going on. Try and snag someone new.
Oh, man. I like McGee. It's not bad. I guess I was thinking like Aaron Baines for the Raptors, but they can't afford to lose him. Like if you're the Raptors, I don't think you would drop Aaron Baines for DeAndre Jordan right now. You know what I mean? But he's a guy that kind of fits that mold in my head. Aaron Baines, he's a banger. He could do some damage down there. The Celtics have a depth at big man, but they're not going to give anybody up. I can't see that happening. No, Andre Drummond or bust apparently should not have gotten rid of Jared Allen. Should have figured that out. Should have worked that trade differently. I'm sorry. That's a big loss. And that's pissing me off because Jared Allen's is in the dumps on my fantasy squad. It's killing me. But that was kind of just kind of a reroute there. We're going over to Bradley Beal now. Bradley Beal has 16 straight games with 25 plus points, tied to Michael Jordan's record, but he's just on the wrong team. We got betonline.ag actually has props up here for where he should be going this season potentially. Who's your favorite to land him right now?
So I really got two. One of them I don't know how likely it is. The odds are in my favor. Golden State Warriors at plus 350.
Oh, my lordy.
I really feel like, I mean, we've
Wow.
seen them do it before, and so it really wouldn't shock many people. And I do think that they have enough pieces that they could move where it would intrigue Washington enough because they know Beal wants to get out of there. A part of me, though, thinks like, yeah, you know what, that getting that third superstar to that team, granted Clay's not in right now, it doesn't happen all that often, so I don't know how likely that is. I think the Miami Heat have a chance. Pat Riley, he makes big trades happen. He makes big moves, splashes for his team, and that's a team that has been one of the biggest disappointments this year.
Yeah.
So what would, getting a Bradley Beal, trading for Bradley Beal, that'd be a huge get for them to try and rejuice their lineup.
Oh, that would be huge. So I'm seeing the Warriors at plus 350. It's solid value. The favorites are the Pelicans at plus 250. Bradley Beal and Zion on the same squad.
Does that have anything? I mean, Lonzo Ball, I'm guessing, right?
No, absolutely not. It's got to be Ingram, right? It's got to be Ingram because you got Westbrook there. You can't. There's no way. Oh yeah,
that's
for Lonzo. Just cannot do it.
I agree. I mean, Westbrook and Lonzo, dude, that is not going to ever mix. But, I mean, when I saw that, I was surprised personally that the Pelicans were first to get him. Would you – I don't think I'd move Brandon Ingram for just for like a straight up swap.
You got to do something else in there. You got to mix something around. I'm sure the Wizards, they wouldn't have to give up picks. I feel like Ingram and a pick would probably do it. I mean, Ingram is good, but he's not a guy that's averaging 30 points a night.
True,
I think you need another piece in there, probably another player. I would do Lonzo and Lonzo and Ingram for him straight up. Maybe Lonzo and Ingram for
JJ Redick. I know they want to move.
Yeah. Okay. So Redick, that would work for me too. I could do that. Redick and Ingram for Beal. I don't think that's terrible. You get Westbrook, a 3-point shooter, a reliable guy that can start at the 3. You can move Denny to the 4, gives them a little bit more size. They're struggling at center right now, so that's just going to be the case probably until next year, unless they trade for somebody. That's a team that I would say, hey guys, one of you should go after Andre Drummond or Jared Allen because that would fill a huge hole in your lineup. Huge hole.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're trying to win games this year. So, I mean, if your best player that is, breaking historic records that the greatest players of all time have had, and you're losing all these games and there's no future for him on your team, realistically, you should be going to who can get you the biggest haul, right? I'll throw Blake's Celtics up there. He's always talking about all the picks that they have. I guess you'd have to throw in Jaylen Brown, but man, they didn't trade. They weren't offering Jaylen Brown for James Harden. So I don't think they would do it. I don't really think they would. I don't think they have the assets to do it other than all of the first round picks. The Raptors are in there, the Blazers, the Hawks. Any of these teams piquing your interest? I like the Mavericks. They're number 4 behind the Warriors. Any of those raising your eyebrows?
Honestly, those are every team in there. Probably like some of my least favorite teams in the whole league. But
so no,
So really, I cannot. And I'm a huge Beal guy, so I'm also like the fan part of me is like, hell no, I don't want him going to any of them places. Yeah. But no, I mean maybe if the Raptors pull something kind of crazy out there, but
Fred VanVleet just scored like 54 points.
Shout out him.
Let's do a trade. I was talking shit about him last week, saying they should trade him for Buddy Hield. I don't think you guys should do that anymore. I don't think you guys should do that. I don't know if he's ever going to score 50 points again in his career, but VanVleet is more of a defensive guy to me. His 3-point shot is super streaky. It wasn't last night. It was all cash. It was all money.
It was money.
Shout out to VanVleet.
Anyone who took him in fantasy this year, good for you. You're getting probably one of the most bang for your bucks out of any people. He's a top player this year, especially in category leagues. Like he's a dog. Good for him too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh shit! I lost my number here. The list of the teams below them, like the really low odd teams: 76ers, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Clippers, Lakers, and Bucks. Hey, I don't see any of those contenders actually doing it.
But your Heat are an interesting option there. They're an interesting
option. They've got a slew of talent down there. Who wouldn't you trade?
I mean, personally, if I was them, I would say, there's only two people I'd really put a stop to, and it's Jimmy and Bam. I mean, if you went hero and you're getting Bradley Beal, take him. Take him. Take my picks. Take whatever you want. I mean, Bradley Beal is a way better player than I think Tyler Hero will ever be.
I feel like Jimmy should be in the conversation, though. I feel like Jimmy gets this. I feel like Jimmy cracks the door open a lot easier. That foot, holding that stop of the door is a lot bigger. I feel like with Jimmy offered up, Jimmy's always hurt, man. Like down the line, like if you can keep Hero, cool. I don't think you will. But what about Dragic and Butler?
Now, yeah, I do think. Well, I mean, I could see it. I don't think right now. I don't think Pat Riley and the Heat want to take away from much of what they have star wise, and I think they're just trying to add that third guy. And Beal fit. I mean, with his shooting, I really think he'd fit with Jimmy Butler as a great piece.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I do. When you said the Dragic and Butler, that gets the deal done a lot quicker. To get Beal out of Washington. So it's possible. It's possible.
But for the future, I think that's a good mold. Hero, Beal, Bam. You can fill in those other pieces. Like that's a good starting mix there. I feel like.
Yeah, and Beal definitely has a brighter future from here on out than where Jimmy is. Soon Jimmy will start regressing from.
Exactly. Yeah, and right now he's not winning games with Westbrook. They need balance, from front to back court, right? Like you can't just overload all the talent right next to him. You know what I mean? Like you got to give him a big man that he can really work with. Thomas Bryant was doing that. He was getting it done, got hurt, really sucks. Corner three for the Milwaukee Bucks. Good God almighty. Middleton better have me 50 points tonight. This is killing me. At least the Pacers are really just trying to blow the total, though. They're trying to really blow it. 106 Milwaukee to the Bucks 70 right now. We're looking at a total of 176. Dougie McBuckets takes it to the hole. But we're almost to the fourth quarter, so I'm still feeling good about this under here. So that's not bad. But, yeah, I do see Beal getting moved, though. I hope it's this season so we can kind of get a little bit taste for next year. And, there's just nothing exciting going on with that team. Give us something to look forward to next year. If you're a DC fan at least, show some progression. You have these two studs here, and you're going nowhere. You're going no direction. I guess we'll just kind of segue that into our next topic with the first coach to be fired. Should it be Scott Brooks?
I mean, for me, that is 100%. That's who gets my vote. What's his odds? You got that pulled up right in front of you?
I will in 1, 2, 3. His odds are third highest at plus 250, behind Ryan Saunders of Minnesota and Dwayne Casey of the Pistons.
Ryan Saunders, he deserves it. I think that roster is underperforming by a lot. Dwayne Casey, not a terrible coach. I think, what did the Pistons expect? Given them the roster he did, he's maximized the play out of Jeremy Grant. I don't see that he'll be fireable at least this season. Maybe. But who do you think there?
I think it's Scott Brooks. I'm right there with you. I'm looking at the options here. Ryan Saunders with the Timberwolves, that's also the GM getting involved. They need to trade Ricky Rubio. I was talking about that last week. They need to do it. He's getting completely misused on that team. I think he might be getting more minutes tonight, so maybe he'll make me bite my tongue here tonight. But because I think D'Lo might be out or might be on a minutes limitation this evening. But they've got too much depth up there between Beasley, between D'Lo, between Rubio. They've got Edwards now. I don't like Ricky Rubio there. That's a guy that needs to get on the move. I think there's just a lot of mismanagement. Obviously, they're missing Karl Anthony Towns as well. So that's a big deal. He's the face of their team. Really pissing me off because he's a guy that I was pushing people to take in their top 5 for fantasy, which sucks. But, hey, we can't prevent or predict injuries, right? It's COVID related, which is
I guess somewhat predictable because the dude lost like 6 or 7 people from his family to COVID. But
and did I read something right? Maybe I misread this, but did he get hit by like a car or something? Oh, in the off season?
Maybe, but when shit rolls downhill, I mean, it's going downhill, right? So I mean, that makes total sense. Maybe it's because he's dating Jordan Woods, for all I know. I have no clue. That's kind of like a Kardashian, like again, like just falling downhill, like Thompson, Kardashian, just going through that little trend there. So I have no idea. But for the coaches fired, I think it's got to be Scott Brooks. Beyond that, you're looking at Luke Walton. Don't do it, Sacramento. Don't do it. Don't fire a Walton. Steve Clifford for the Magic. I could see that too. Mike Budenholzer for the Bucks. Why? What are the Bucks doing wrong?
That one's so high.
Why is he so high? I don't know. They must really have faith in JB Bickenstaff
for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's like 8 spots behind him. The hell?
They must be loving the Cavs. Eric Spoelstra in the middle of this mix too. I don't like that.
He's Mr. Miami.
So
why would they ever get rid of Spoelstra?
He is the heart and soul of that organization
at this point. It's him and Pat Riley, 1-2. Like,
don't forget about Udonis Haslam. He's sitting at the end of the bench still. But
he's just
okay, so I got a question for you on Steve Clifford for the Magic. I mean, I don't see that happening just because is it fair to fire him after he's seen his roster decimated by injuries? I don't see them doing
Aaron
that.
Gordon is hurt now too. He's going to be out like 4 to 6 weeks. Like this team can't stay healthy to save their lives. Fournier was out for forever. Michael Carter-Williams is out. Vucevic is the only guy staying healthy, and he's their best player. But this team is doing the same thing every single year. So that's the only thing I could see is like, maybe we want to give them a kick in the ass because this is the same roster every year. The big guys, right? Fournier, Vooch, and Gordon, right? Everybody else is just kind of mixing in and out. But I mean, their 3 isn't getting it done. I was saying last week, all 3 got to go. Get rid of them. They can all go somewhere else, right? So I don't think he'll get moved. What about Rick Carlisle for the Mavericks?
I was actually just looking at that name. That's wild. I was sitting there scrolling on my phone and I put my finger right next to it. I'm sure it'd take a lot, but
really, that's a team that I could see like a coaching change right now could flip things around.
See, I don't think they make the move mid-season with that team. I don't think they want to necessarily completely tear it down. But if he was the first one fired after the season, definitely would not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
I can see that.
If this prop was for end of season, he would be the first name I would take. You know who's way down the list, just completely buried? Steve Nash. They're like, no, this guy's our future. This guy's our future. Right behind Nick Nurse for the Raptors. So that puts him in good company. Nash isn't going anywhere. We know that one. Last one, Billy Donovan for the Bulls. I can't imagine he gets fired this season, no matter what.
No chance. I don't see him getting. I mean, I hope, as a Bulls fan especially, I hope they write out his contract to the very end. I mean, this is the best coach the Bulls have had, arguably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he passes up Tibbs. I mean, he doesn't have the talent that Tibbs had to work with.
He could get it. He could get it.
Yeah, and so I am pumped for what he's brought to the Bulls, and hopefully this can finally land a.
Are you ready to back down the hate on Patrick Williams pick?
Yeah, I am. I have been very impressed with how easily he's been able to plug into the lineup and be effective on both sides of the ball. That's not something you see often. Usually in that top 4 pick, though, I know, but I mean, everyone had gone. I like to see, and that's why I think Anthony Edwards is going to be very good. You can't teach some players to score, like to be one of those electric scorers, but you also can't teach some people, especially in today's NBA, to be able to defend like Patrick Williams can. You've seen him go up against some of the best, and he looks like he's a third-year guy to me.
He does.
So I will definitely back that talk down.
You hit that on the head there. He looks like a guy with experience. That's exactly what I was going to say. He looks like a guy that just like, oh, yep, I'm here. I'm ready to play defense. LeBron, I got him. Cool. No big deal. Kawhi, sure. Bring him on over. I'm going to guard him. Paul George, no big deal. Give him to me. He'll take on the big names. He doesn't care. Zach Levine has said so. He just says like, "Hey man, coach says you're guarding, or coach says you got 23. You got LeBron." He's like, "Cool, sweet, feed me." You know what I mean? No problem. Honestly, maybe this is too early to say, but right now he is reminiscent of a young Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler did not have a scoring touch his rookie season. Not so much his second season.
I'd agree 100%.
Especially his 3-point shot. It did not develop for a couple years into the league. So yeah, to me, he's rocking like that, like a young Jimmy Butler. I'm loving it right now. I'm ready for Otto Porter to come off the bench, man. I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
limit his minutes, get more out of him. Get all that energy. Fresh legs off the bench. Patrick Williams should be a starter right now, in my opinion. Give me Colby, Levine, and Patrick Williams out of that first three.
Yeah, I completely agree, and especially when you see a young guy we've dealt with Markkanen for so long, who doesn't play great defense, doesn't grab rebounds, doesn't get assists. All he does, he'll put in 18 points, and that's all he'll ever do.
But right now it's like 30 points. I don't know how long we want to keep riding this out.
When he gets on the heaters,
fire. He has like these somewhere else right now.
Yeah, and he always has these months in the year where he's just like, okay, holy shit, this guy might be the next big thing. And then, then week passes, and then next thing you know, he's just cold.
I got to do some quick math here really quick because I think I'm going to hit my under. Sorry. I got 114 plus now 78. We're at 192.
192. So 232 minus the 192.
Well, hey, 40 points in 9 minutes and 42 seconds is totally doable for these two teams. Don't do that to me, Steve. Don't you do it. Don't you put that on me. All right, let's go over our waiver wire ads and drops here really quick, and then we're going to head out for the show. It's been a long one, but been a good one. And if you haven't already, smash the like button and share the video. Let's take it to the Hizzy guys. Right now, the most player added in Yahoo Fantasy, could you name him for me? He's a center. He's on my team.
Oh, so he's garbage. I know who it is. It's Cody Zeller. It's got to be.
It is Cody Zeller. I don't know how he was still available, man. He's been putting together these really good games, 19 and 12, 7 and 15, 12 and 6, 10 and 14. Give him to me. Mason Plumlee was another guy that I spotted on another team. He got a little bit colder, but those two are probably the two big men right now that I'm targeting the most. Is there anybody that I may have missed?
No, I think Cody Zeller really is the guy. He's came back and he gets rebounds for you. He'll put in some points like that. That's what I'm jealous you got there.
Yeah, well, maybe Mason Plumlee's available, or I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's even on my team for all I know. It's hard to keep these rosters back and forth. Thad Young is there for the Bulls. I think that's just kind of more of a spot kind of ad with Otto Porter, just kind of getting banged up these past handful of games. I don't know if he's a season-long option that I'm really desiring. Malik Monk, another guy that I added. I didn't get him before the 36-point game, though. I got him for tonight. Right now, so far, he's got 7 points, 1 rebound, and assist. I'll take that. I mean, Terry Rozier was out of the game. LaMelo Ball started, so I knew that he was going to get more minutes, so still wanted to grab him, but wish I'd got him on the sunlight before the 36-point game. Royce O'Neal, this is another one that's not like a real season-long option. It's more of just like a stream. Let's get him in for a game or two and then drop him. He's coming off a 12-point, 6-rebound game, had 4 points, 11 rebounds the game before that. 9 and 4, 20 and 6. These aren't bad, but they're not. I don't think they're going to be consistent. But Utah, that's a team playing damn good balls. So I don't know. He might turn it around. Any other names there that I'm potentially missing for like ads that you're really liking, either streaming or season long?
I like Kem Birch for the Magic. He's getting Gordon some run there. Yeah, they've really found a way to utilize him. Yep. What is the name of the guy in OKC? Theo Maledon? Yeah.
With SGA sitting out and then George Hill hurt.
Yeah, he had a big night. He put up, I believe, 24 or 26 just a few nights ago. So I don't like you said, I don't think it's a guy you're necessarily going to keep for a long stretch, but great spot start.
Wow, right now they are up over Houston, man, 52-35. We called that one incorrectly. Wow. Yeah. And he only has 3 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists, so it's not a great night for him. Has a couple of steals, but that's about it. If you're hurting for steals in a category, maybe that helped out. But again, like you hit it on the head, not necessarily a guy that you're going to have all year long. Let's see. I know Looney for the Warriors. He's going to be out a couple of weeks. So fire up some Eric Paschal. The numbers may not be there for the ads just yet, but if he's available, definitely someone you want to target. We kind of briefly touched on Amon Shumpert. Is he worth an ad, or you got to see something first?
I need to see a lot more first. I need to see what his offensive game is like anymore, especially with the team he's on. Who knows what he'll be doing? Yeah.
All right. So how about some guys that have just gone cold? Wayne Ellington, big name from last week and the weeks prior, but 3 games in a row here. Last game, only 3 points, 2 rebounds. Had a game postponed against Denver, and then he had a 0-point game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. So you completely ready to let him go, right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, very good. Dieng for the Grizzlies. I feel like he's still solid because Valencius is going to be out again tomorrow, it looks like. So I would actually fire him up as long as that dude's not in the lineup. Green for Brooklyn. I don't know why he's getting dropped, but he just had 1 bad game.
Yeah, I like him. He'll get you 10 points, probably good 10 boards, somewhere around there, and he gets minutes.
So don't drop him. That's what you're telling me.
I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm keeping it.
I can't do it.
Maybe I'd have to check his stat line, but I like what he offers. I've been a Jeff Green guy for a while.
D'Anthony Melton, why is he getting dropped? He's had double digits every game these past 3 games since they went through that long slew of postponements. 12-2-6, 17-7-5, 25-2. He's 4th highest on this list for drops. Why? Am I missing something?
Yeah, I don't know why he'd be.
Yeah, keep scooping up some D'Anthony Melton guys. Kyle Anderson, he's a leader for drops. I mean, again, this is a guy just coming off 1 bad game. This must be some 8 to 10 team leagues here because I don't understand that one. Yeah. Terrence Ross is coming off a couple of bad games as well. He's highly dropped, but I think you got to continue to try to ride him out with Aaron Gordon also out of the lineup. He should be getting more play here because he can play the 3.
Yeah, and that team doesn't have much going for him right now, so I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, they're knocking on your boy Kem Birch though, man. They're knocking on your boy Kem Birch. 6-1.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it here too. I mean, the last game only 15 minutes, maybe got in foul trouble, I don't know. But the previous game 26 minutes, 8-6. Previous game 24 minutes, 7-3-2. 14-3 the game before that, which was solid, but that was again 26 minutes. So I don't know. They're not loving your boy Kem Birch.
Deeper leagues.
True. Yeah, we play in the big boy leagues. Oh man, but they're telling me to drop my boy Chris Boucher. 7-5-2, 9-4-0, 4-3. Oh man, I might have to drop some Boucher.
He's cooled off there then for a while, hasn't he?
Oh yeah. Well, as I was telling you, man, I've been in the dumps, right? My teams have been plummeting, but I don't know what it is. He only played, 19, 18, 14, 13 minutes the last 5 games. That's terrible. I may have to actually look at dropping him, but I feel like there's gonna be a stretch of 8 to 12 games here where he'll just light it on fire again, and I'll be in the dumpster burning to death. Like that's what's going to happen. I can't say to drop Chris Boucher on that team. I mean, we just saw a game where Van Fleet went off for 54. Obviously, that could play a role. Anthony Simmons, cool. Okay. I thought there was a C in there when I just saw his name, but Anthony Simmons for Portland, ready to drop him. Just hot cold.
Yeah, I think it's a guy you kind of just pick up if you need something there. Maybe, and I mean, it's definitely something to monitor right now with CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard kind of fighting some injuries. So I think if there's a random night you need someone, pick him up. I did it on yesterday and then didn't start him like an idiot. So
happens to the best of us. Oh my God, the Bucks are up 119-91. I got Giannis over here taking pictures with a DLR camera over here, like just hanging out on the bench while his team is hitting wide open threes. I got 6 minutes left in this game. We're going to be closing down the show here. Appreciate everybody that came and rode with us tonight. Let's do some quick math here. I got 119 plus the 91. Looking at 210. It's going to be close, man. I don't think I'm going to make it. I think these teams are just going to keep scoring to be assholes against me here.
Yeah,
I don't
Pacers.
think Yeah,
they might go on a little run too.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jonas. Show them the photo. Show them how good a photo you took, you son of a bitch. Yeah, Milwaukee is just monsters tonight. I cannot see them cooling off here. And yeah,
Pacers we got to check on.
What's that?
Let's check on my 20-point spread. God damn it. All right, well, I'm not going to the office. It's an 11-point game right now.
Come on, man. 20 points? That's too much. That's too
much. You're killing me with that. But hey, fortune favors the bold, as they say, right?
Yeah.
And we'll leave you guys with that. We appreciate you dropping by for TITTH number 103. You guys take care. Be well. You got anything, Steve?
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for coming out.
All right. We'll see you next Wednesday, 7:35 Club. Be there. Be square. Later.